So there's lots of things that go into it. And even before you get to that helmet, there needs to be an internal and external. You need to write this junk out. There needs to be a list of things, and they don't have to be in this particular order, but you need your, we'll go through it a little bit by a little bit, but like there's a lot of things you need before night vision becomes the priority.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Whiskey and Windage, the 2A podcast for the people, by the people. I'm Matt from Burning Powder Kickin' Brass, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Mike from OCA and Adam from Silver Bullet. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Man, doing good. How about yourself?
Living the dream, living the dream.
I'm doing great, brother.
Good. We got a great show ahead of us today, everybody. We're going to jump right into it. First off, we got Mike with the 2A News. Take it away.
So this week, I know we sound like a broken record. This week, we are still going to be talking about Pew Party that's coming up in a couple weeks. I think this is the last, Wednesday, Thursday coming up is the last day of February, and then we start the countdown. So I think we're about 5 weeks out to Pew Party. If you didn't check the episode we had last week with the hosts of Pew Party, Jay and Juan, definitely go check that out. But that's where we're going to be March. Yeah, in April, we're going to be coming through the season where a lot more stuff's going on through Texas. We're going to have the NRA show is going to be there, and also Kalash Bash is going to be there. And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but barring any unforeseen circumstances, the homie Clay from Kalash Bash will be on with us next week. Is that right?
That's the rumor, boys. Clay, the goon man himself, he's coming through to talk to us about Kalash Bash.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I do.
Dude, that'll be awesome. And then as you get through April, we roll into May, and May, we're going to get down we're going to be going over to the Southeast. We're going to be in the Dirty South, and we're going to be talking about Southeastern Range Day, Blakely, Georgia, little south of Atlanta, but quite a few instructors, multiple days, immersive, immense training, definitely something you don't want to miss. So if you've got time for any of that, definitely check out any of those or all of those. And we'll be, there's details posted up on the info of each one of these, podcasts. So definitely check that stuff out. But other than that, man, no acorns falling this week, no nothing crazy going on. So, I think that just about does it for the 2A News. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Adam to sports, man.
Mike. Yeah, I got one thing, guys. One thing. I get the privilege coming up here really, really soon. I believe it's next week. I get to vote for Brandon Herrera because he is in my district. So I get the honor of voting for Mr. Herrera.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Get out there and vote, y'all.
Cool. No.
Hell yeah.
Definitely get out there and vote. If you want to change, the the political landscape in the country, it has to start with the landscape in your area. Just what it is. If you're happy with it, keep voting that way. If you're unhappy with it, you got to do your part. So
yeah, exactly.
Get out there and do it.
Well, cool. Well, what else we got?
Awesome.
What else we got over here going on, Matt?
Not a whole lot left to talk about. I think we've got Adam has a new review up this week. He's been a little secretive about it, so I'm gonna turn it over to him. What's going on with the reviews page, Adam?
Oh yeah, man. So I haven't told you guys either. All I will say is this: the title of the episode this week, because it's not really a review. It's going to be why my rifle is better than yours. And that's all I'm going to tell everyone.
That's cute.
All right.
That's cute.
It's mystery. It's a mystery. Go watch it. It's like 12 minutes.
Where can they find it at, Adam?
You get to see me in 4K. You can find that at the Whiskey and Windage Reviews channel on YouTube, guys. Go over there, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all of our reviews and funny ass shorts.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
That's all right, guys. Man. No guest today, but we do have a good show, good topic. And I think this is going to get people a little riled up because everyone has an opinion.
Hopefully.
No one really cares about your opinion, but everyone has one at least. And I think this one's going to get people in the comments section on YouTube for sure. But Mike, Matt, we've all talked about this before, but where do you start? If you were a new person, we've had people come to us in the DMs like, I'm new to firearms. Where do I start? What do I buy first? Do I buy an AR first? Do I need to buy night vision right away? Do I need to buy a kit? Like, what body armor should I buy? Like, people ask those questions, and most people, to include all of us, have probably not made the best decisions at times with priorities of what we should get first. That's a fair assumption, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this podcast holds a lot of merit. And the reason I think it holds merit is because you do have those guys who ask, "Oh, hey, do you have night vision?" Well, yes, I do. "Oh, what kind of night vision do you have?" And then I tell them, they're like, "Oh man, that's really nice night vision. I can't afford that night vision. I want this night vision." And it's like, okay, well, fine, get that night vision. But before you do that, let me ask you some questions. And you start asking, hey, do your boys have night vision? No? Okay, well, there's strike one because it's going to get really boring. We've talked about this on a podcast before briefly, but hey, you're not ready. Then let's ask another question like, how's your kit looking? You want to run night vision, but nobody in their right mind wants to run a skull crusher. So are you going to go and, I guess this is the best way I can put this, and I don't want to sound rude, and I'm not saying you should buy, not saying you need ops core, but what I am going to say is, are you going to go out and seriously spend $3,000, $3,500 on some night vision and mount it on a $69 airsoft helmet from Amazon? Is that what we're really doing here?
No, Temu.
So, yeah, so it's like, man, what are we doing here? So there's lots of things that go into it, and even before you get to that helmet, there needs to be an internal and external. You need to write this junk out. There needs to be a list of things, and they don't have to be in this particular order, but you need your, we'll go through it a little bit by a little bit, but there's a lot of things you need before night vision becomes the priority. And then there are seasoned guys in this industry, in the 2A community, that have the money for night vision. Hell, they've got the money for quads, and they still don't own night vision.
No.
Because there's a lot of other stuff they would rather have, or they're, and it's not thermal. That's not the easy answer. Oh, yeah, they don't want night vision, they want thermal. No, they don't have any of that stuff. They're saying, well, I gotta finish everything else out before I even worry about this. So, yeah. Adam, why don't you just start us out, man, and get us moving down the road, and we can start talking about this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So I did make a list, guys, and there's some numbers involved, but I'm not gonna be hung up on the numbers too much. It's perspective, but we'll get that to the end. But let's start first and foremost, if you don't have a pistol, the first thing you need is a pistol. Why? Because what's the point of having firearms is to protect yourself. Well, you're not going to be lugging around an AR-15 everywhere you go. You're just not. I don't care if you're in Texas where you can have a long gun. You're not doing it, right? You're just not. So first and foremost is a pistol, but I have my opinion on the pistol, and I'll let you guys share yours. For me, I would recommend someone buying a striker-fired weapon that's from I'm not going to say Glock, Smith & Wesson, SIG. I'm saying a good striker-fired pistol because it's affordable. I would recommend the top three, but if you want to buy another one that's not the top three, that's fine. That's your opinion. It's your money. But I'd also recommend having it have a red dot cut. I don't think you need a red dot right away, but I recommend buying one that has a red dot cut because then you can upgrade in the future. What do you guys think on that?
Matt, take it, buddy.
I'm 100% with that. I have some pistols that definitely don't have red dot cuts, and I wish that they did. Especially in the last 3 or 4 years, that seems to be almost industry standard, and the industry is definitely moving to that way. I know that some trainers will say otherwise, like, "Oh, you can definitely start on a red dot," and you can. But I think that there is some like basic handgun fundamentals that come into learning to use the iron sights of a handgun, and I think. Yeah, definitely handgun is a great place to start if you're looking for a defensive weapon, and should be on the list way before you are considering night vision stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that a step further, Adam, on piggybacking off of what you said. And to me, I personally don't care what brand you buy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The reason I say that is because if I say Glock, SIG guys get mad. If I say SIG, Glock guys get mad. If I say HK, everybody lays on the floor and cries. If I say, it doesn't matter what I say, somebody's going to combat it. So the best thing I can tell you is ask yourself the question, do you trust your life and your well-being with the pistol that comes to your mind? If the answer is yes, you're gonna get opinions from me, but you're never gonna get a no from me. I mean, because you got to do what's best for you. I do agree with what Matt says. Also, I mean, optic cut, definitely. You should get comfortable shooting with a laser, and I think on my list of things in order you need to have before you start moving on to the limited edition or the hard to get or the the cool guy stuff. I think that you should be proficient with an optic on a pistol. I think you should have a red dot on your pistol. Doesn't mean it needs to be on your EDC or it needs to be on your bug out one, but you do need to operate one, and you need to learn how that works. But yeah, definitely pistol, mags, lots of ammo, lots of training, and step further. I would put a light on my pistol. I'm a guy who's against lights, but I would put a light on it. But if you don't want to put a light on it, and you say you're going to be the guy that holds the flashlight and you keep a flashlight in your pocket and you're armed over, if that's what you want to do so. But you need a light for those dark time situations so you can find the extra batteries for your night vision when your battery dies and you're fumbling around in your kit looking for them. So you do need a white light for that reason.
Yeah, and I agree. So I did lay it out where I said pistol. Now I will say this. I'm going off someone with a budget. I'm going off someone that doesn't make, just a normal American. Now, I guess if you are new to guns and you have all the money in the world and you want to start with a pistol, but if you want to buy a staccato, buy a staccato, great. I'm not going to tell you not to. I just feel like for a basic striker-fired pistol, for most people, is very affordable to get into. So that's where I'm basing most of my stuff off of. The average American.
And also want to preface this by saying I'm cool with the staccato on this situation, because in this situation, I mean, I like staccato. I have nothing against them. But in this situation, this is not a hits the fan situation. This is just you building your kit. So if your kit wants to include the staccato, wants to include a Nighthawk, an Atlas, if your kit, whatever it is, if that's what you want your kit to include, cool beans. Just make sure it is built completely the way you want it before you start moving on to, you can buy their parts for other guns, but before you start making big investment purchases, make sure that this thing is ready.
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. And so I did say, buy the pistol with a dot, because if you can afford a dot right away, great. If you can't, have it so you can upgrade. And that was the for me, at least have the option. And most striker fired guns nowadays have that option. Also, like you said, a good EDC holster, whether that's appendix, whether it's 9 o'clock inside, whatever holster will work for you to carry, because if you don't have a good holster, you're not going to carry the weapon. Promise you. Speaking from a guy that's bought more holsters than I ever should have, if you don't have the right holster, you're not going to carry your gun. You're not going to carry your gun if it's not comfortable for you.
Yeah,
so
if
find
it's not
the right
comfortable,
holster.
you won't carry it.
Yeah. And then, Mike, I agree, the light, I think having an affordable light even right away, get used to that. But also, I'll take this is one step further. I recommend at least 1,000 rounds of ammo for that gun, because you need to train. You want some extra ammo to keep, but you need to put some rounds through that gun, and you need to get some training, and you need to practice. So I have it budgeted, and I'm going to do rough numbers. I'm not going to talk about brands, but I said if you had about $1,400 roughly, you could buy yourself that pistol, a light, a good holster, and 1,000 rounds of ammo, guaranteed. And I'm overestimating, but $1,400 could get you started, and you
ain't getting no staccato, but yeah,
you ain't getting staccato.
Man, you're getting
get a top 3 primary striker.
You're getting a couple. Yeah, you're getting a couple in that the Glock, the SIG,
M&P. You are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a budget gun.
You could step into FN in that range.
You know, these
HK
budget guns,
it's
the. But the cool thing is depending on the optic you buy, and depending on the light you buy, most of that stuff will transition over. So
exactly.
In the event, now if you buy a Streamlight and it's the TLR and you buy it specifically for the Glock, and then you go all of a sudden go out and buy a SIG, you're going to have problems with the way that the pick rail's cut on the Glock, that it won't match up with the SIG right, and you will get that screw as tight as you possibly can, and when you go to shoot, that thing will move on you. So, you will have to, take it in the shorts on that a little bit, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
So with that, what I liked that you said was your belt and your holster. And I won't wait another second before we bring this in, even though it is down the list to discuss, but you've already got that belt, you've got that holster. If you don't have an IFAK and a tourniquet on your belt at this point, if you're carrying a gun on a belt and you're not carrying an IFAK and a tourniquet, it's your constitutional right to do what you want, but I think you should put your gun back in your drawer, leave it home. If you're not going to be able to administer aid in the event it's needed, especially if you caused the damage, you need to learn how to. You need to learn how to repair that holster. It could be on yourself.
That's not. I don't disagree with that. So having a tourniquet, at least, I totally agree, Mike. And Mike, you're not talking about a battle belt. Mike's talking about EDC everyday carry, right?
Yeah. Now
that's what I like about that.
Do I want you to be? Am I expecting you to be freaking Tactical Terry running around like? And got everything on your leather church belt that you're carrying, and all that. No, it's cool if that stuff's in the car or if it's in your range bag or if it's wherever. But if you're carrying a gun, you at least need that stuff in the vicinity you can easily access. You'd look pretty silly not carrying a duty belt, a battle belt. You're just rocking it on your church belt or whatever you're doing, and you got all this stuff. Yeah, you look a little funny. But you at least need that stuff in an area to be able to take care of a situation.
Amen.
No, Mike, I'm glad you said that, because I'm the medic here, and you mentioned that, so I appreciate that. That's a good caveat on that. Matt, I mean, we talked about ammo too, so I'm a big believer. Every new pistol I get, I will not even carry that gun until I put a minimum, and I think this is a low count, a minimum of 500 rounds for that gun, just because QC, right? You don't know. So, what's your mentality on that? If you're telling someone brand new to firearms, I'm recommending 1,000 rounds, because I want them putting at least 500, 600 rounds of training and having a couple extra 100 rounds just to have. What do you think about that?
I think that's a solid standpoint. I've always been a collector, so I've had handguns come in and come out and move around with a couple of constants. And I have guns that I enjoy, I love them, but it's not something that I would carry every day just because I haven't put in the time. I haven't sat there and ran that gun for hundreds of rounds to know, if I do limp wrist it on accident, is it going to jam up? Will it take crappy ammo? Will it take really good ammo? So I think a minimum of 500 rounds. I mean, granted, if it's your first gun and you can't get out and dump 500 rounds right away, should that keep you from carrying it? I don't know. I would never tell someone like, oh, you shouldn't carry it to protect yourself if you don't have a minimum of 500 rounds. But it definitely should be something that's tested and that you're familiar with before you're counting, you're leaving your life to depend on that thing. I've got 2 pistols that I'm like, yep, I carry that every day. I've got one for my wife that I trust to work when she uses it because I've seen her use it. And I've got 2 that I carry pretty regularly, but I've got 5 or 6 pistols that are just kind of old collectibles that I would not trust my life to on a daily basis.
Right. You would never carry.
Exactly.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. And another thing, I don't want to get off tangent, but for new gun owners, I recommend don't go, if you're going to buy some Gucci defense ammo, fine, cool, buy the hollow points. I understand why, but here's my thing. You need to buy enough of them to go shoot them to know how those fire, because you're just shooting ball ammo at the range. The ball ammo and that Gucci ammo are not going to be shooting the same. So you need to know what that Gucci ammo is going to shoot. I get it's expensive, it sucks, but if you want to shoot it, that's cool, but you need to actually put some rounds down target on paper to see where they actually go, in my opinion.
Yeah, something else I will say, and this is going to go to the AR or the rifle as well, but it starts at the pistol, and I'll speak from experience. If you listen to this show, you understand I grew up in a 2A friendly household, started shooting guns at an early age, started shooting rifles, started shooting pistols. I'm not out there, you see me on the range, you got a shot at beating me. I'm not saying that I am, undefeated and some phenom, but I will say I'm a really good shot.
I mean, you put a flashbang in Mike's hand, he's an animal.
Well,
gotcha.
Yeah, well, I can shoot stuff out of there too. No, but what I will say, honestly, what I will say though is you get a pistol and you think you're too cool for training. Man, I've been there. I spent the first 20 years of my life self-taught, and I can tell you I was dang good. But where I messed up, and I'm gonna equate it to my golfing buddies out here, my golfers. The swing is everything. How you grip your club and how you bring it back and you bring it forward and you follow through means everything. Doesn't matter what ball you're hitting, so I'll equate that to ammo. Doesn't matter what club you're hitting, I'll equate that to the pistol you shoot. The fundamental swing is where it's at. And what I was lacking in the 20 years before training, like I'd say not 20, maybe 15.
I mean, you're pretty old, so maybe.
Yeah, but 15 years of shooting without training, what I was missing was I was missing my grip and I was missing my draw. And so it was tough to correct a lot of things that I picked up along the way. And there's still some things that are wrong, and I'll never be perfect. But if you're new to pistols, the best thing you can do is take a beginner pistol course. Even if you're blessed with a private range and unlimited ammo and no job and you can shoot the rest of your life, take that course just so you know how to properly hold your pistol. That way, if you're one of those I can figure it out talented guys, you can probably do a lot. But if you're holding your golf club wrong, doesn't matter how strong you are, and it doesn't matter how fast you can swing. If you're messed up, that ball's never going straight. And I truly feel that that's the exact same way with shooting a pistol. You can have unlimited ammo and you can have unlimited training budget and you can do all this stuff, but if you aren't holding that gun correctly, you might punch paper today doing it this way, and you change it the next time you go out there and you're not hitting it and you don't know why, and you blame the ammo, you blame the gun, you blame the optic, you blame the conditions, but you could have been doing one little thing different. So that's my rant on pistols and rifles. If you're going to self-teach, do your thing, but at least learn how to hold it correctly and learn those basic fundamentals, and then, hey, do you.
Teacup, right?
Oh yeah.
No, Mike,
Won't save the
you're right,
queen.
and actually, that's right. But I will say this: a week ago, I did a video conference with our buddy Pat from Apex Training Concepts because there's a couple of videos he saw, and he was really cool. DM me, hey bro, I see what you're doing, you're shooting, but I think I can help you get better. And we did a whole video conference. We threw our belts on. Granted, we both were in Ranger panties. Threw our battle belts on. You know, it was only like keep balls the whole time. No,
that's gay.
We did. We did throw our belts on, and we got on video together. And he gave me about a 30-minute private session, just working on some basic fundamental stuff.
He did.
Like, hey, he sure did. But no, honestly, he did that. And the video I posted today, the reel, he's like, bro, I watched some stuff he was working on with me, and he's like, I can see the improvement. I'm like, I appreciate that. But, you know, he wasn't being one of those guys who was trying to, like, he DM'd me on the side, like, bro, I see how you're shooting. You're a good shooter, but I think there's some stuff that you could do better. And I could be of two ways. I could have been like, fuck you, I know what I'm doing. Or I could be like, hey, you know what? You are an instructor. Maybe I should just shut up and listen. And it did help. So you have to, like, you can't be arrogant. And there's too many guys in this industry that are. You have to kind of humble yourself. And honestly, for the females, I'll say this. There are so many awesome female instructors out there. If you don't want to be taught by a man that are out there nowadays, you can find one because it's intimidating. Some females get intimidated by the dudes, the alphas. Yeah. And there's plenty of great female instructors out there that can help as well. So get training. 100% get training.
Yeah. Now, the amount of training you get's all in your budget, and you may not like the trainer in your area. You may not like the facility in your area. You may not have a facility or a trainer in your area, but you definitely get that first training out of the way. And then after that, you know, to learn how to hold it correctly,
Yeah.
That's what I'm huge on. So
yeah, no, you're right, Mike.
Once we get the pistol buttoned up, where do we go?
Awesome. And hey, real quick before we go on to the next thing, guys, if you don't know where to go for training, DM Whiskey and Windage, DM OCA, DM Burning Powder, DM Silver Bullet. Guys, on Instagram, hey, I need a trainer. I guarantee that between the three of us in this country, we know someone that can help you out. So for real. But moving forward, guys. So now we got our pistol done, right? Pistol's good to go. We move on to our rifle. And this is, now granted, I'm going to be AR based. I'm not saying you have to be. You could go AK. I'm not going to, I don't think there's a right or wrong reason. And some people are going to say AK suck or AR suck. Don't matter to me. But I'm going off AR because I'm going off the normal person in the U.S. budget. We're probably going to go AR, right? Which is a safe bet, right? So a budget AR, and I say that because so many guys I know, they're like, hey, I want the Daniel Defense, or I want this, and they buy that. They go out, and I've done it before. You buy this nice rifle, you spend $2,000+ or more, but then they'll, optic now,
can't shoot
a sling. So I recommend getting a mid-grade $1,000 AR. There's plenty of ARs out there for $1,000 that are phenomenal. They're not going to be the Gucciest, but they will do the same thing the Gucci rifle will do, because at the end of the day, it's not the rifle, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I'm going to let you touch on this because you are the FFL, but I'll say this. I think $1,000 rifle out of the box is a great way to start because it leaves you a little bit of money to get some other stuff. What do you think?
Man, I have my own personal opinions on what I think is good, what I think is bad, as far as platforms, as far as brands, as far as all that. But I'm literally going to go right back, and my answer is going to be the same as the pistol. I don't care. Yeah. If you think that your life is safe carrying the AK, carry the AK. If you think it's safe carrying the AR, carry the AR. If it's the Kel-Tec carbine, 9mm ugly looking thing, if that's cool. You
do you, America.
Sorry for your loss, but like, hey man, do your thing. Like, I'm not gonna knock it. If it's a an X95 Tavor, bullpup, cool. If it's, I don't know, anything. I mean, if that's what you want, if it's a CZ brand, if it's a Scorpion, the Evo, whatever, man. Like, I have my opinions on what I think I would take and what I think would best suit me or people in, my group. But if you're willing, if you say hands down, without a doubt, this black Scorpion with red safety, red trigger, and red accessories on it is what I'm gonna take to battle, bro, to defend my home or defend my family from, you know, an uprising or whatever. Like, man, bro, do you like do it then? Like,
Okay.
again, but like you said, you need the rifle or SBR or carbine, whatever we're talking about. You need that. You need an optic. You need backup irons. You need a sling. You need
Mags.
Magazines.
at least 10 mags.
I'll agree.
I'm a 10 mag guy. You know, if you're running 30 rounders, that's 300. If you can't run 30 rounders, sorry. But, you know, if you're running 20s, that's cool. It's still 200 rounds.
Right.
If you need more than 200 rounds to do what you're doing, you've bitten off more than you can chew to start
This
with.
shit is thick, boys. Yeah.
But if you're going to the range, if I'm going to the range, I can sit at the house and I can load up 10 30 round PMags, and I never let a bullet come home ever. So there's going to be times that I'm just going to start mag dumping because I'm tired and I'm ready to go home because I'm tired of shooting. But, you know, 300 rounds, that's very easily doable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very easily doable with one rifle, but I definitely think you need all of that stuff. I know I'm missing things like, you know, tack light.
Yeah, I was saying, I think an affordable light. I think I will say this. I will argue on the pistol. I will argue on someone's pistol saying you don't need one. I will 100%, and I will die on this hill. You need. Let me say that again. Need a light on your rifle, even if it's a budget one. I can't. I'll die on that hill.
You can. I won't die on the hill. If you're, you know, Paul Blart Mall Cop and you're just going to keep your freaking flashlight in your pocket and you're going to pull out a little Streamlight wedge every time you need one and do the old, you know, I'm going to carry this thing around like, or you're going to put it in your mouth and walk around, man, whatever, do you? I don't care. You know, you're just going to be at a disadvantage because you're not going to be able to operate your weapon to the best of your ability. But
they're so affordable.
If you don't want a light, you know, I'm against lights in certain situations, but I'm not against putting a light on. So
Yeah.
definitely
100%.
need that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
So-
Matt, where are you at on this?
Yeah, Matt, what are you telling someone, a brand new person? I know you're an AK guy primarily, but I know you also have ARs. So a new person getting in wants a rifle. What's your advice to someone?
Is to buy an AR because AKs are batshit. No, either platform. Look, people are gonna have their opinions one way or the other, and anybody who says this one is better than this one, absolute, because they're full of shit. You can have your preference. I like to mess with AKs. They have character. They're cool to me, and so I shoot a lot of AKs. But I do also have a couple ARs. And it's undisputably the more common platform in our country. And so in the event of, you know, stuff hits the fan situation and you're out there in the streets, got to fend for yourself, you're way more likely to come across fully loaded AR magazines than you are to come across AK magazines. And there's no argument in that. But regardless of whatever
I think I could work on an AK in the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A hammer. It's like,
Yeah.
I couldn't work on an AK in the field other than like a few pieces. Like an AR, you give me the tip of a bullet and a rock.
yeah.
There's a good chance, other than breaking that barrel loose, there's a chance I can take everything apart.
Yeah, that's
Except
true.
those pesky Allen wrench. You know, I need an Allen key, but
Yeah. I think the trade-off to that is that the AK requires less field service, and so the need isn't quite as much. Everything's riveted into place. No way could it come unscrewed or get loose, or so there's going to be pros and cons to both. Regardless of what it is, like, get a rifle. These guys are right on point. You can argue about how many mags you need, but if you have 2 mags for your fighting rifle, you're wrong. Like, you need a bunch of magazines. You need to try them. Even in modern technology, modern manufacturing, 1 PMag could work very different than another PMag in the same freaking rifle. And so to have experience of cycling ammunition through them and know like, hey, this one's kind of pesky, like we're going to put some tape or a mark on that one to know that like that one sticks at the back of the bunch. And so to have 10 magazines, I think in 10 magazines, you maybe have the chance of one being not so great. And so, you've got 8 or 9 awesome magazines. I think that's a great choice. And then ammunition, time behind your rifle. I won't tell anybody that they need an optic for a rifle that's going to be a fighting rifle. I know lots of guys who are really, really efficient with iron sights. But an optic is nice. If you do have an optic, put some sort of backup on there if that thing can't come off quickly to get to your iron sights. Like if it can't flip out of the way or quick detach, like you have to set it up so like if the worst case thing happens, what's my next step? Okay, I still got some flip ups that I can see through my red dot that's battery that died, and then lighting.
Or the battery dies, or you tried to jump a fence and you fell down and you cracked the glass on your EOTech and now it doesn't work.
Right. You've got to be able to have some sort of sighting system.
Yeah. Matt, that's a good point, and I will say that. So what I have as the basic AR build, I'm going over rough numbers again. So I did a basic AR build, about $1,000. In my personal opinion, in 2024, in February, $1,000, in my opinion, gets you a decent AR. I didn't say Gucci. I didn't say great. I didn't even say mid-tier. I said a decent AR platform. It'll go bang. It'll work. I didn't say that's a duty rifle, but it'll work. But yeah, I did say so. Also, I will say this: I think having good iron sights, metal iron sights. Don't go buy the Magpul plastic ones. Buy some good iron sights, 100%, without a doubt. Buy some good ones. They're gonna last. And then also, dots are cheap nowadays too. You can get a Vortex dot. I'm just saying them because I looked it up. Under $100, you can get a Vortex dot, throw on your gun. If it breaks, you can replace it. Also, you can get it to co-witness with your iron sights. So then if it does go out, you can still use your iron sights. So
I was going to say like a SIG Romeo, what is it, like a Romeo 5?
Yeah.
Or I'm saying an MRO. I run a lot of MRO, but like just a dot. I'm not saying you need that kind. Primary Arms has them, but just having something that you can do a true co-witness with, I mean, there's nothing wrong. The $1,000 for this gun or that gun, I've got like I say, I always have my opinions, but it's honestly, it all boils back down to my opinion doesn't care for your kit. My opinion only matters on my kit. So if I think that I couldn't get what I want for $1,000, that's my opinion.
Right.
So
of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think I can get close. I'm just saying, like, hey, for these guys that are true purists, there's no way I could even buy, and we'll say AK. There's no way I could even buy the AK that I want for $1,000, let alone one extra mag or even an old surplus sling, like something cheap. Like there's no way I could even get that. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, do you? I mean, if your battle rifle is, if you believe in your heart of hearts, your battle rifle should be like a Scar 17, like, $1,000. Like,
get you one.
If you find them for $1,000,
let me know.
Tell me where.
I want to buy 2.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So
and let me premise this. I should have started with this, guys. So when I did my numbers, my mindset, Mike,
you did them with your AR.
Agree with you. No, what I did was I thought about a family man. I thought about a father. This is my mindset. A father, a guy, breadwinner, making about 50, 60 grand a year supporting his family. What could this guy afford in a year? Ish. Or what could he start with? That's why I went with the numbers I went with. Yes, trust me, not $1,000 AR, right? I completely get it. So I understand where you're coming from. That was my mindset in this. So someone new that wants to protect his family. He wants to be the protector, but he also, money's still a thing. He's doing the best he can. He's working his ass off. He still has to, pay a mortgage. That's kind of where I came up with my numbers, just to put in preference.
Man, if you're a protector, I was going to say, dude, if you're a protector and you're not I don't want to say a warrior because that's not a good name and that's not a good example.
Yeah.
If you're trying to just guard your house from being overtaken, $1,000 get you $1,000 get you a lot. Go buy your ass a Mossberg 500, buy you a red dot, and mix it between double lot and slugs,
Yeah.
buddy.
True.
You're good.
True.
If you're having to just defend your house and your neighborhood, I want no part of your house if that's what you've got.
This
But
is true.
if your
This is
house
true.
is, if your house is out in the middle of nowhere and you're going to have to travel into town to get supplies, you can be okay with some slugs for a certain distance, but then you start limiting yourself. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my mindset, and I'm not saying, but I can tell you right
well, you're
now,
a
in
go-getter. You're
2024
not going to stay in the house long. You're going to move.
No, exactly, and that's my mindset. So yes, I said roughly, if someone said, "Hey," I said about $1,500, you can get yourself an AR, a basic red dot, a OK sling, a budget light, and a couple extra mags. That was gonna be right there, and that was kind of like you could do it. I didn't say it was gonna be the Gucciest, and I'm not gonna throw names out there, but I'm gonna throw one. PSA has deals all the time. Palmetto State Armory has deals where you buy an optic, get 10 mags for free, and you can get an affordable rifle. I'm not saying Palmetto State's the all to be all. What I'm saying is it allows Americans, the average American, to get into the game, and you can upgrade later. Right? Sorry, I'm boring
that
you.
same pricing.
But that's
will-
kind of where the
will,
mindset on that was.
That same
it's gonna
pricing will do the same for AKs. I mean, you already dropped Palmetto State Armory. The $1,500 will choose you an AK platform at Palmetto State as well. Trim you out in magazines, get you a nice little red dot. There are options out there, I think, in both of those pretty common platforms that right about $1,000, you're going to get something that I think you could depend on, make a pretty good bet to be dependable, at least.
Okay. Yeah. No, I do. I completely agree with that, Matt. So, I mean, okay. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so Adam, let me ask you this then. So we've, we're all pretty much, established on our pistols. We're all pretty much established on our rifles. So now,
what's next?
before we get into armor, before we get into that kind of stuff, we have to kit ourselves out to go, to go carry out this protection. So that brings me to now that I'm carrying my rifle on a sling forward, on the front of me, carried. Now I can't carry my pistol, and my church belt's just not going to cut it for me.
Nope. And Mike, I completely, I know where you're going, and I completely agree with you 100%. 100%. So guys, battle belt. You need some kind of belt, an extra external belt, and that's 100%. So a good battle belt, which there's so many great ones in the market that are affordable. There's some Gucci ones out there, yes, just like everything else. Yeah. But there are very affordable belts out there with a retention holster, and I will say that. Mag holders, there's tons of out there. You can decide what kind of mag holders you want. I'm not going to tell you what kind to get. What I'm going to tell you is have some mag holders, have an IFAK like Mike mentioned, an actual IFAK on that, but a good retention, at least level 2 retention holster on that belt with your gun, and 100% the belt. And I will add on to that, Mike, if you're going out there, and I think we talked about this offline, a chest rig. You don't need body armor. You need a chest rig. And the thing with the chest rigs is, I'll tell you this on chest rigs, cheat code. Haley makes some nice ones. Actually, in my opinion, Haley makes the nicest chest rig out there, in my opinion. But it's stupid expensive. I'm going to tell you now, for a chest rig, go get yourself an airsoft chest rig. It's sewn material that holds the magazine.
It just holds mags.
You're not bearing weight on it. Go on Amazon and get yourself an Amazon chest rig. I'm not worth the chest rig. Get a good belt. I don't think you should skimp on the belt. But there's still a lot of affordable belts out there. But
Sorry, I think I just had an aneurysm. What the hell did you just say?
Yeah, I said get an airsoft chest rig.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you right now. There are some out there right now, and there's some guys on YouTube that we're friends with that we've talked about that. You can throw taco shells in these things that are Haley knockoffs. It's a chest rig. It's not holding weight. It's holding mags.
I'm really torn on this because when it comes to a chest rig, I don't know which route to go. I wouldn't go airsoft, and that's just me personally. I understand it's just a chest rig, but if you're moving and shaking the way that you should be on the field in training, it's hard for me to believe that a Chinese, I don't want to say Chinese, I don't want to pick on that. It's hard for me to believe that a less expensive Amazon knockoff will hold up for the longevity. I'm sure there's guys that are going to be in the comments saying mine's worked great for the past 4 years and blah, blah, blah. That's cool. That when it comes to chest rigs, I think this is where, well, belt is kind of one, but not really. I think this is where you get into the first, level of, okay,
Yeah.
I need to think long and hard about what my intentions are here. Do I need a chest rig? I owned a vest. I owned a carrier before I owned a chest rig. And the reason I did that is, like I said, a lot of the stuff I do is self-train. So I was the guy that was out there self-training, and I was training in my carrier with my plates, with my full kit. And for lack of better terms, Daddy just got hot.
Yeah.
Daddy's thicker. And Daddy was running hot in that Tennessee heat, and Daddy didn't like that. So Daddy
Plates
said,
are
"Let's
tough
just get
on
something
big
so I
boys,
can wear
dude."
some mesh, and I could be breathable." And so then it was like, "Well, let's get this chest rig on," because let's be honest, you're a little bigger, and I'm not big, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you a little fluffy, like. It looked like you trying your wife's lingerie on when you wear a chest rig. Like, there's more opportunities for skin and shit to poke out where it shouldn't. So, so I do have a chest rig. I do rock one, but it's more when I'm at the range and I just want to practice reloads from a mag because I got them in the same spot, boom, chest, boom, chest, boom, chest. Good. I don't have any admin pouches on it. I do have one admin pouch, a small one, but it holds my cell phone, all that stuff. But on the back, it doesn't have any medical. There's no medical on my chest rig. And that's because all of my medical stuff is on my battle belt. So
Makes
TQ,
sense.
TQ, IFAC, everything's on the back. So I don't run that. Now, when I run my carrier, I keep my IFAC and I keep my tourniquet on my belt, but I also have a secondary med kit, and it's a medium-sized med kit, nothing crazy, but you're going to get your chest seals, you're going to get a little bit more immersed into the medical field other than just like some Israeli bandages and some tourniquets and some boo-boo stuff. But I think that chest rig versus plate carrier is the first time that you really have to start thinking through what am I trying to do? Matt, where are you at on this?
I'm admittedly pretty new to building out full kit and not just buying as many guns as I could get my fucking hands on. And so it's all pretty new to me. Chest rigs have always been a thing because I'm an AK guy. There's lots of cool surplus options out there. Lots of guys are collecting, different AK chest rigs from different countries and stuff. And they're out there in a lot of numbers and still pretty inexpensively. And so I've got a couple of different chest rig options that just hold magazines. That's all they were made to do is hold AK magazines. But about a year, 10 months ago, I bought my first battle belt. I'm a real blue collar guy. I don't make a whole lot of money, but I needed something to round my kit out. Not to drop brands or anything, but I tried to find something that was going to be quality, but not break the bank. I ended up with a Tacticon battle belt. So far has been great. It's sturdy, holds stuff up. I've got mag holders, holds my pistol up, holds 3 rifle mags, 2 pistol mags, a pistol, and a tourniquet at the moment. I don't have a belt-mounted IFAK yet. It's something that I need to add to my kit. I do have first aid kits in all my vehicles, just because even before weapons and stuff, I was like, yeah, first aid in all my vehicles is pretty important. So most of my first aid is in vehicle outside of a tourniquet. And I just took my first dive into armor. So it's all kind of a progression, you know, and it's like you dip your toe in the water to be like, am I going to like this? Do I want to keep going? I think there's lots of budget options out there. The industry does a bad job of portraying certain brands or types of things and being like, this is the truth, the one answer and the only answer, and if you don't believe this, you're nothing and you're poor. Like, there's some good options for us poor folks out there that aren't necessarily the top tier stuff, and I mess with a lot of that. So like, I rock Spartan plates. They're steel. They got a gnarly coating on them. I've watched a lot of information on them. They have a really amazing anti-spall coating, but some people would be like, it's got to be ceramic or nothing. So everybody's got their opinions, but I would say whatever it is that you're gonna do, if you want to rock an Amazon chest rig, you better load it up full of mags and go run it around in the field to make sure that that's gonna hold up. Don't just hang it on your wall and be like, it's there and it looks really cool. Get out there and use it. And there's some good nylon out there that's cheap. You know, there's good nylon out there that's cheap. So
there's some great nylon knockoff. There are.
Yeah, dude. I do want to go back and say that though, because you're exactly right. I don't think people understand this. If you're big into training and you're big into, you know, doing CQB training, doing shoot house training, doing teams training, doing all this stuff, man, plate carriers with ceramic plates are for you. Right. Because
100%.
You're very hard pressed to find a steel plate that is going to be at the same weight that you're going to find with ceramics. And people who haven't done this, I challenge you. I don't care what your physical fitness level is. I don't care what your body type is, what your build is, what you can and can't do. It sounds so silly, but just take some rope and tie a 10-pound dumbbell to a 10-pound dumbbell twice and slide your head through that and let a 10-pound dumbbell hang in the front of you and a 10-pound dumbbell hang in the back of you. And I'm not saying run, because that would hurt. Just walk.
Yeah. Just stand there and breathe.
Can you do it? Absolutely. Yeah, you can. But I'm just saying that's what you get. So if that comes to me on the want versus need, the necessity versus the cool factor, to a lot of people, plates are just cool. So you're not wearing them to train a whole lot. You're not wearing them frequently. So I don't see a harm at that point. And I'm a ceramic guy, but I don't see a harm in that point for steel plates with anti-spall coatings on them. If the coatings, and I haven't seen the videos, I haven't done my own personal research, but if the coatings do what they say they do, I don't have a problem with it. Because you're not going to be wearing them a lot, and I hope to God that you never have to wear them. But that's one of those, it goes back to a ballistic helmet and night vision and, IR lasers and things. These are things that you don't have to have. So if you're not wearing it all the time and you don't work in an industry that requires you to have it, steel, I guess, is cool for you. And so I would definitely save that money. Now, if you wear them frequently or plan to wear them frequently, man, buy once, cry once. Out with the steel, buy the ceramic. It's going to hurt the wallet a little bit more. Could be a lot more.
Yes,
but
yes and no. There's special threat ceramics out there that aren't too bad.
no, yeah, but you see what I'm saying. But it's like, okay, do that.
Right.
I mean, if we're really wanting to just get into training and you're not worried about the threat, but you want something for, smaller rounds, just buy a plate carrier and just stuff some trauma pads in there. I mean, you can stop pistols.
Yeah, a Kevlar trauma pad can. So, Mike, Matt, I both agree with both of you, and I want to go back to this because I did say, like, I can tell you from experience. One, I'll say this. Yes, I've had to wear plates for 10 hours straight before, and they're Army, so we're ceramic, and I have not worn metal plates that long, but it still sucks. I mean, and the plates I have that are issued to me, they're not bad. They're not the Gucciest, but they're lighter than the ones that I've bought for myself, my personal ceramics. So I will say that. But they're still like 6-pound plates, I want to say.
Well, just
they get heavy.
We haven't even got into helmets yet, but if you're in construction, just wear a hard hat. Put a hard hat on, and if you're not used to wearing one, wear a hard hat for about 5 hours in your day. Guarantee end of the day your head's going to hurt.
Yep.
And it's because even though it's a pound, it's a piece of plastic on a cradle system, it's just going to bother you. It's going to hurt. You're not used to it.
Yeah, no, it's going to. And I want to go back to the chest rig because I have a Army. So the Army, we call the TAP system, the TAPS chest rig. I have that. Yep. I have a knockoff Haley. I have a friend that had a real Haley. I've seen all three. I've worn all three. I'm going to tell you right now, the Army TAP system is no better than a knockoff airsoft, in my opinion. The way it's sewn, it's okay. It's okay. It's good. I'm not talking the cheapest one. I'm talking there's some really good ones out there. You're still spending, $90, $70 on it. You're not spending $20. But the Haley's going to run you about $300. Or no, I don't want to say numbers. Haley's more expensive. And I compare to Haley because I do think Haley makes probably the best chest rig, in my opinion, out there. But when you look what he's charging for it to the knockoff, I know a lot of guys in the military don't buy Haley ones. They buy the knockoffs and they run them no problem. So chest rig, do what you can afford.
Yeah, I mean, and for mine, honestly, I don't run a Haley. I run an S-Tac.
Yeah.
I run the S-Tac, and the only reason
S-Tacs
and I'm not giving fanboy stuff out, but S-Tac's going to be about $150, and it gets you everything you need, and it's USA made, and it's veteran owned, and it ticks all the boxes that you want it to tick. The colors are all there, and you can pick it for, SR15 or SR25 pattern or AK pattern. They have AK chest rigs. They've got it all.
So Haley's the only, and I'm not plugging Haley. The only advantage of the Haley chest rig is the way they design the mags and the taco shells. You can run AR or AKs in the exact same chest rig, and that is the one plus with the Haley chest rig. That I will say.
See, yeah, I just don't like taco. I don't like taco mags, and I know that that's a fight for another day.
Oh, yeah. I love tacos.
Yeah, but
I like tacos.
I'm the Kiwi setup guy. I'm a Kiwi setup guy because I like that stuff to lock into place, and I can do fat boy cartwheels and nothing falls out.
But
I don't want to have to strap my mag up again.
My opinion, I run because I run an S-Tac belt. In my opinion, the taco Kiwi is pretty much the same thing. They're identical. It's a different patent. It's like tomato, in my opinion. I ran both. I say tomato. But do what you can afford, do what you like.
Or
and
as
I love
Matt says,
S-Tac.
potato.
Potato.
But guys, so that wraps up. So here's my thing. I want to touch, Mike, I want to go a little further. But before we do, we talked about pistol. We talked about AR, battle belt, chest rig. And then we talked about ammo training, all that. So I have these are rough numbers. That's roughly, if you bought all that in a year, it's going to cost you right around a little over $4,000. We're just going to go beer math. We're a little over $4,000. And that's a lot of money for someone. Like, dude, $4,000 for all that stuff's a lot of money. But if you all of a sudden break that down, it's about $370-ish a month, which still is like, dang. Well, that's about $93 a week, and still like, dang. But if you look at like a lot of people, and I'm not saying cut all your vices out, but I know plenty of guys that spend 20, 30 bucks a week on cigarettes. I know they spend on a weekend 20, 30 on a case of beer. I know guys that spend stupid on vapes now. Vapes are stupid expensive. So add up all your vices. And I'm not saying you should get rid of all your vices, but add up all these bad habits you have. Your bad habits cost as much as this gear would cost in a year.
Fuck that. I ain't giving up Krispy Kreme. Y'all kiss my ass.
Fine, don't give up Krispy Kreme, but yeah. Oh, energy
bourbon.
drinks too. Like add up your energy drinks. Like you add up all your vices. I'm not. Don't give up all your vices.
Yeah, Team
but
Red Bull.
It's rough.
I'm telling you, if you can donate plasma and give up half your vices in a year, there's no reason why you can't have a good pistol, a good rifle, a good belt, and some ammo to train.
Well, yes, I'll go that route because you've just now touched that 4,000 threshold. I hadn't done your math. I'm just going with it, and you touch on that, and then it's like, all right, cool. Well, cool. You could have all that shit, or you could have a PVS 14. So on an Amazon helmet
I was saying a cheap PVS
on an Amazon helmet with a knockoff Wilcox. So cool.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
But before we go into all right, so we've barely touched on plate carriers and chest rigs, which I think is all we really want to do here. Steel plates are great if that's what you want to do. If you do a lot of training, you do a lot of training with it. You do you spend a lot of hours wearing this stuff, like a lot of hours. Not I think I'm gonna spend a lot of hours. No, like you spend a lot of hours. Go ceramic, go lightweight, go hybrid. If not, Steelies will be fine for you with the anti-spall coating. Chest rigs, do what you feel you need to do. And again, this all works the same. But before we go further up and we start getting into the lids and all that stuff, dude, let's go back down to medical. And I want to ask you, Adam, I've talked about chest seals. I've talked about Israeli bandages. I've talked about freaking tourniquets. I've talked about, Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids and Neosporin. Like, talk to me about the sheer basics, and we don't have to get too crazy, but talk to me about the sheer basics. What should you know medically? What should you know?
A great question. How to apply a tourniquet correctly? Hey guys, did you know on Whiskey and Windage Reviews there's a video that'll tell you how to apply a tourniquet correctly? Crazy.
There is
tourniquets, guys.
Yep. Hey, and shout out to those 82 people that watched how to do that. We love you.
It's not,
you know what?
92.
I want to. No.
Oh,
I gotta say,
correct.
one of those people was me, and
unsure of which
I ordered tourniquets because of that video. So,
yeah, unsure of which one it is. It looks like this.
No, yeah. Look,
that's the
guys,
one.
Tourniquets. No compressible hemorrhage on the legs, arms. Know how to properly put a tourniquet on, and then next is chest seals because gunshots in the middle torso, right? The box. You got to seal the box, guys. If you can't seal a box, what's the point? Close that box up, guys. Don't leave the box open. Never leave the box open.
Air gets
guys.
out. It's embarrassing.
Gotta plug the box.
It makes a noise. Everyone's kind of.
Adam just got tickled on that. Whispering sweet nothings.
Oh, it's happened.
Yeah.
But guys, chest seals. Also, guys, did you know there's a chest seal video on how to properly apply them at Whiskey and Windage? All 60 people.
Oh, that's
watched
the
it.
one that 82 people watched.
Yeah.
Sorry, 82 people watched that one.
It's like 60.
Okay,
What's funny
cool.
is, I can post a video of the dumbest, like my crap hits the fan gun gets 11,000 views, it was the worst video ever. I will say this, the worst video ever, 11,000 views. How to put a tourniquet on. How to put a tourniquet on. Pretty important. It's a really good short video. No one wants to watch it. So medical. So to answer your question, Mike, tourniquets, chest seals, really important. A good pair of trauma shears, underestimated because you got to cut the clothes off. You have to be able to cut to the wound. So a good pair of trauma shears. I'm
use
not
my
going to talk
teeth.
about needle decompression. That's a little advanced. Needle Ds. We're not going to talk about a good Israeli bandage, good bandages, and that's really it, guys. That's what you need in your IFAC. If you want boo-boo care, have boo-boo care. But for the average person, that's about your echelon of care that you're going to get. I mean, we can get other things like combat gauze, but that's look. If you don't understand how to find the artery and unplug an artery and get in there, I could spend 5 hours teaching you how to use combat gauze. So I'm not.
And
gonna
let's
tell
be
people to do
honest.
those.
Let's be honest. Unless it's a hits the fan situation, all you're trying to do is stop the bleed until the real professional gets there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Tourniquets, right.
In a real situation, you and Adam take care of it
situation.
until like
even
a
at the gun
corpsman
range.
shows up and can really
Yeah.
take care of it.
Yeah,
Just
or
you
gun
and
range.
Adam just keep pressure until the corpsman gets there.
I love it. I got your joke. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I love my corpsman. Love my corpsman. I love it.
Yeah,
But gun range, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you need to do all that stuff. Just stop. So, all right, so we've got a little medical down there. I didn't want to touch too much on it, but it is a huge thing. So you've got your gun, you've got your pistol, you've got your rifle, you've got your medical, you've got your belt, you've got your you got your carrier or your chest rig. Cool, good job. You know, it's overlooked. It's overlooked, and I will go back and I do want to say that it's not a necessity. Well, actually, it is a necessity. It's a necessity if you're shooting at an outdoor range, first off, but also not only there, it's also a good protection for you. Well, I wasn't even going to go there. I was going to go PPE in general, and I was going to start at the bottom, and I was going to say I'm not going to say you need military issue boots, because those are probably some crappy ass boots anyway. But what I will say is you need a good pair of hiking shoes / boots / mid-height / ankle, whatever you want.
Does Nolan need those?
No, you need some Reef Tactical flip-flops from Kevlar. No, but if he was on a real range, he would need them. No one would give a shit about his karate and kung fu fighting. No one would care. But basically, you need something that you can comfortably stand on for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So you need a good pair of shoes. You need long pants. Can you shoot in shorts? Yeah, I've done it a whole lot. You go to a real range, like a public range, got to have pants. They're not going to let it go in most cases. So fine, you got that. Now let's move further up. Eye protection. You need sunglasses or you need shooter's lenses. Yeah, we all look stupid in them. Just wear them. Then you need ear pro. You need your ear pro, and that kind of gets that taken care of. But if it hits the fan, I mean, you need ear pro. So I don't know how you're going to get your helmet on unless you're going to rock some Peltors. But that brings us to what this whole premise of this podcast is about. When do I buy night vision? You're crossing into that echelon at this point. After all of that stuff is purchased and all of that stuff is there, you're crossing into the point where you can start talking about planning to buy night vision. I mean, if you want to buy it step one before you have a gun, do it. It's the coolest thing ever. Look at the stars. Walk around your house and feel like you're the coolest guy ever because you can see and no one else can't. Like, it's great. Buy it. I love it. I've got it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love it. But is it a requirement at any point, even at this point for me? No, except I do train at night a little bit and I do some night hunting. Other than that, I don't need it. If you're not doing that stuff, you don't need it. So at that point, it's just a cool toy. I know people that have it and they don't use it other than to show cool pictures that they have it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I fuck off the military night. Anytime I had night vision in the Army, I've always just more fucked off with it at night than really used it.
Yeah, because when we get into night vision, we talked about this early offline, but in the many years, the night vision I have now is not my first night vision. I started off with a PVS 7 that came from Desert Storm.
That's so horrible.
Knew a guy that had one. Like, great, got it, pretty cheap, good deal, worked. Wasn't the best.
I bet the NSN number was rubbed off of it.
Actually, I think it was still there, which was bad now to think about.
The serial should have been rubbed off. The NSN.
I think it was still there, which is bad. I think. So
yeah.
Anywho, I digress. You go in and you start thinking about it, and you're like, oh well, I've got all this stuff, and I want night vision now, so I'm just going to have to go buy what I can afford. So you're going to go buy some janky ass green phosphor tube, and people that tell you the green phosphor tubes are still cool and they try to justify it.
Trash.
I'm just telling you it's old generation. It's old technology. It's like trying to tell you that although the PlayStation 5 is cool, the dude that's got PS2 is still telling you how his graphics are still almost as good as that, and he can play just about every game that you can. Like,
nah.
Yeah, bro. Cool.
Nah, bro. Ain't happening.
So, you need that. Well, you need to buy, like, when it comes to tubes are a buy once, cry once. I truly believe that. If you can't afford the tube you truly want, wait 6 more months.
Right. So, Mike,
just
let me
keep
ask you a
saving
question.
your money.
Let me ask you a question, because I don't want to get exact dollars. Hey, Mike, I'm the guy. I got all my kit, and I'm at this point, right, Mike? I'm the guy. I have everything but a tube.
I'm at this
Mike,
point.
If I want a single tube, what's my price point to get a good tube? Roughly, where am I looking to get into the ball game? We're talking. I have a helmet, but I need a mount. I need a tube. Where am I looking to get into the market where I'm not going to be disappointed?
So if you go in and you're buying a tube, okay, first off, I'm gonna take EOTech out of this because EOTech includes everything. But if you're just going in and you're buying from these other guys, if you're not being allowed to select your optical lens that goes on the thing, as well as not being able to select the tube that you get, whether you're getting, whether you're getting L3, whether you're getting L-bit, whether you're getting Photonus, whether you're getting all these different guys, you're probably getting some jank shit, or you're getting some B-level stuff. If they're saying, hey, I'll just sell you this whole kit for $3,800 and you get no selections at all, you're getting the stuff that manufacturer couldn't sell to anybody else because no one else wanted that stuff.
Right.
So when you say what kind of ballpark are you in, can you find night vision, Gen 3, white phosphor? Can you find night vision for in the 3,000s, like the low 3,000s? New? Yeah. You can. You're not going to be happy with it, but you can. But it doesn't stop there, and I think that's what people don't understand. So it goes back to the very beginning of what I just said, at the front of this podcast. You're putting we're just going to call it PVS 14. You're putting a $3,000 to $6,000 tube. You've got that. It can't directly mount to your helmet. It has to mount to two different things. The first thing is the J-arm. You have to have a J-arm. Can you buy a cheap one, or can your homie 3D print you one? Sure. Do you want to trust that? That's on you. If you don't and you buy one, you can buy one pretty cheap, probably $120, $130. That J-arm connects to your PVS 14 tube housing. From there, it gives you the wedge shape, which is going to allow you to hook into a mount. You can use a Narotos Rhino. You can use a Wilcox. There's so many different ones. A Wilcox mount, like the G24, it's going to set you back $500.
It's gold, but that's the gold standard. Yeah.
There's better ones out there that are Wilcox, but you can buy that one $500. Can you buy one cheaper online? Temu, Amazon, whatever? Yeah, probably. But again, do you really want to choose this knockoff airsoft stuff to hold a $6,000 investment, $5,000 investment? Dude, if you're investing knockoff night vision, then invest knockoff night vision.
Right.
But if not, dude, you can't do that. And then at the end of the day, The only thing that all that is connected to is a helmet that you buy that you can't control. And so, do I think you need, a ballistic ops core, a ballistic Team Wendy? No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Just buy it. If that's the case, though, buy from a reputable person and buy a bump helmet then. Because you don't need ballistic anyway. People aren't shooting at you right now. You don't need ballistic. Bumps are fine. Just trust the bump because the mount is what's important.
Right.
It holds
mount
that.
And counterweights. Mount and counterweights.
So, all right. So you got all that. So, all right. At that point, yeah, you're ready for night vision. But I'm going to rewind it back and say you're actually not, because in between each one of these things, there should have been training. There should have been,
Exactly.
There should have been Urban Rifle 2, Urban Rifle 3, CQB. There should have been all these different things that came in on your rifle. Same with pistol. Right. Then medical. I don't care how much medical you take. You just need to take some. You need to know how to use that stuff. And
at least a little bit.
So you got all that stuff. And yeah. Now, if when do I need night vision? If all of your boys have it and you're the last one without it, yeah, you can move that shit right up to the front because they're waiting on you and you're missing out on some fun stuff. Mm-hmm. But if none of your boys have night vision, you're going to be the envy of the group, but you're also going to be the guy that never plays with his $4,000 or $5,000 night vision setup because nobody else has it yet.
Amen.
Right. Mike, you could LARP hard in your house, though.
Yeah, but
That's
night
true.
vision's just like computers, man. You're going to save up your money and buy it with this year's tax return. And what's going to happen is your boys aren't going to get it for 2 years. And you run the possibility of in 2 years when they get buy their night vision, the night vision you have may be outdated. It's technology, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can still get some Gen 1 stuff running around. But, when the Gen 4 stuff drops, it's out. But when the Gen 4 stuff drops at an economical price, oh shit, or we're running some fusion thermal stuff, some thermal overlay, trick the brain stuff. Dude, intense.
Premium.
Or the hybrid between the electronic, right? The electronic and the FOB. There's some cool stuff out there. It's just price, right? Getting it down to where we are in the next 5 to 10 years. There's going to be some really cool stuff out there.
It's going to be exciting.
Next 5 years, I'm going to be too old to run around in the dark without an adult diaper. So then there's that. I think that falls into medical, but
yeah, Awesome, guys. This is a great conversation, guys. That's the basics. Honestly, getting a pistol, getting an AR, getting a way to hold mags, belt, chest rig, and then kit. I think those are the basics. But it's build up slowly. You don't have to do this over a year. This could take you 2-3 years. Just build up how you can, but buy quality so you're not trying to sell it, because we've all been there, all three of us. How many guns I've bought and sold, then bought and sold, upgraded. It's if I just would have waited, bought this one thing, I would have spent less money overall. 100% would have.
yeah,
It's true.
So take our advice, learn from our mistakes. Trust me.
Please.
Don't have a mid-grade laser on the front of your rifle that you're supposed to put $800 on that you don't have night vision for. Learn from our mistakes.
Well, we want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you've stuck in this far, also make sure to go over to Whiskey and Windage Reviews channel. Subscribe there. Don't forget to hit the notification bell on either channel. That way you know when we drop new content. We've got new podcasts, new reviews every week. We've got shorts almost every day. So keep tuning in. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next week.